Mental health is a psychological well being or an absence of the mental illness. One of the serious problems of mental illness is depression. Depression is a major depressive disorder, a common and a serious mental health problem that negatively affects on how we think, feel, and act.
Hello, my name is Raymond and this is
I'm Peter.
and we are going to talk about
7 common types of depression.
and here we go.
We will talk about major depressive disorder (MDD), and major depressive disorder is a mood disorder characterized by a number of key features. And the second type is persistent depressive disorder, or normally we call it dysthymia. And the third one is about bipolar disorder. And this bipolar disorder is a mood disorder characterized by periods of abnormality, elevated mood known as mania.
The fourth type of depression that I'm going to talk about are the postpartum depression, that is PPD. During pregnancy, a woman will experience the shifting of the hormone that will bring some changes in their moods. The fifth one is the premenstrual dysphoric disorder (PMDD), or the one we common known among women that happen after the period. Sixth one is the SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder. SAD is a condition whereby the patient will experience depression, weight gain, sleepy during the winter, but is feeling so fine during the summer. A typical depression is the seventh one, which is typical or the most common depression that makes an individual to feel sad and not enjoying their everyday life.
The two factors that causes depression is number one, abuse. When children receive traumatized past, especially when they were abused when they were younger, either by their parents or siblings or even friends, it will really change how they think. It will change the structure and the chemistry of the brain. They will be really traumatized over everything, and they will change their way they think. So this will lead to depression. So as you can see, for example, usually people who behave weirdly in a way, especially in their teens, they didn't really have a good childhood. So they are really traumatized over everything. They will be afraid to interact with other people, and they won't even be social. They will be very introverted. So the second point is major changes in life. I think this point is very self-explanatory. So especially when something happened in your life, it will really change how you think. So for example, let's just say something happened in your life. Let's just say one of your siblings passed away when you were younger. Especially when you care for them so much, suddenly their passing will really affect how you think. You will feel alone in this world, or sometimes you will even feel depressed without them. So it is really how they cope with it, and if they are not coping with it well, it may lead to depression. So this is all from me. Thank you.
There are many factors causing depression. One of the factors causing depression is social isolation. If a person being cast out of a social group, it can contribute to the risk of developing depression. However, sometimes depression coexists with some major illness such as insomnia, anxiety, and chronic pain. This because the stress of coping this illness may cause the patient to have depression, particularly to the patient that is dealing with long-term management of chronic pain.
Depression is about how we feel after a bad week at work or when we are going through a breakup. What are the symptoms of depression? One of the symptoms of depression is hopeless outlook. You are always think that your life is very lifeless because you imagine that negative thing will happen in your life. For example, when you are doing something at work, You always think that it's all my fault. That sentence will vocalize in your mind every time. Another symptom of depression is increase in fatigue and sleep problem. You start to stop doing the thing that you enjoy the most, such as playing or reading. It is because you feel very tired. Lack of energy leads to excessive sleep. Thus, that lead to insomnia and anxiety that can make the depression become worse.
The symptoms of depression is we lose interest in our daily life. We feel like we're fed up with our life, ourselves, doing activities such as go out to dinner, movie with our friends, working or even doing our hobbies are not interesting. Other than that, people with symptoms of depression often feel like they cannot focus or more like having a concentration problem. For an example, they might cannot concentrate or focus when they are reading, engaging in depth conversation or watching television. As a conclusion, depression might be occurred by some of related symptoms where we can feel the change in our life. Depression may lead someone to giving up with life and end up with hurting themselves, or the worst is commit suicide.
There are three ways to overcome a depression. One of it is develop interest and participate in activity. The benefit of it is actually to build friendship with others, to improve communication skill, and to build an interesting topic to talk about.
Another way to overcome depression is by asking for help and support. Depression is a silent killer. Depression can be fatal if it not be treated properly. Hence, to overcome this problem, we must seeking for help. It is important because it creates connection between the individual and the person he believes. Lastly, please avoid stress. Stress can overwhelm and produce negative vibes towards a person if that person is unable to cope with it. Therefore, to prevent this problem, there are some natural ways to reduce stress, for example, by listening to music, having a good and enough sleep, and also having exercising regularly.
That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.